Time for a greenhouse and patch update. So you'll remember a few weeks back I built that mulch layer, plastic mulch layer. Well, shortly after that I transplanted some of my potted stuff, and it's doing all right. It's doing better. I waited for a nice cool period of time, which we don't get very often in the summer, but I had a few days, and I transplanted. I don't even remember what I planted here. So I've got red bell peppers, which have gotten eaten by something, some of them, but they're starting to come in. It's really late in the season, but it's a greenhouse, so as long as I can get some of them pollinated, I can close this thing up, keep it warm. And I have red Pueblo chilies. That's this row up to the tomatoes there. These are San Marzano tomatoes. They've come back very nice compared to what they were. Got them right here. Got some flowers going on. So that's nice. And then let's see if those are red Pueblos. These are also red Pueblos. So I've 10 or 11 of those plants there. They're looking good. I topped all the peppers long before I transplanted them, and so they're bushing out now. And then these babies are Scotch bonnets. And they're looking all right. They're slow growing, but you'll notice down the middle there's no weeds till the very end where the water is. But I water these every day. It's just that's under the plastic, so I don't get any weeds. I need to do the perimeter, get the edge cleaned up, you know. But it worked. So in the last pumpkin video I was asked how I deal with pests and disease, and I addressed it there, but I'll address it here too. Last year I did absolutely nothing. I didn't spray once for anything. Powdery mildew, squash bugs, nothing. I just let everything go. And it came out all right. You know, I had powdery mildew just like everybody else at the end of the year, but not a big deal. This year I've done nothing except a few days ago I found a bunch of squash bugs and a whole swarm of cucumber beetles. Now cucumber beetles don't worry me as much, but squash bugs can end a plant right now. So in that little can, that little red can right there, I mixed up some Sevin. I don't know what organic stuff you do for squash bugs, so I don't mess with that, but I do mix it up like that so I can spot spray. It's not that effective, and I keep seeing them. In past years I've sprayed the whole patch with Sevin, but you run the risk of killing the good bugs. So I don't have a good regimen for that, especially not organic. What I've used for powdery mildew in the past is Eagle 20, which is about the harshest stuff you can get. But again, I mixed up in a little can, I spot spray, and it wipes it out right now. So if you're growing vegetables you're going to eat, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not eating these, but even then I don't go overboard. One thing you can do is neem oil. It's organic, or it's OMRI certified, and it kills some bugs, but I've used it before, and unless you get some of the bugs directly, you're not going to get any help. All right, this here is the, what is this? 1059 Pierce. It is in the mid 20s. 20 numbers were 90 pounds, so it's good and not so good. It's not bad, but it's quite light. Look at this. It should be in the 150 pound range by now, and it's light, but it's gonna be a good pumpkin. I didn't plant it for the weight, I planted it for the looks. So it should be nice. Plant is small. Quick look back here. The weeds were overtaking this plant, so I jumped in there, started cleaning it out, and the stump was looking a little funky, a little wet around it. Couldn't tell if it's a foaming stump or not. It shouldn't be. We haven't had any rain in a while, and I haven't overwatered, and there's still plenty of vines growing on here, vine ends, but I'm going to keep an eye on it to make sure. Okay, this dude right here is the 1183 number 1. It is a very interesting cross between, it's almost a perfect cross between my 1246 and the 1484. So the 1484 was the mom, the plant. Pollinator was 1246. This pumpkin looks like both of those. So it's a nice cross. Hopefully I got the 1246 weight genetics, because those go heavy. Doesn't sound very heavy. Stem is short, but in good shape. I just cut the secondary off there. Main vine's starting to touch the side a little, but not bad. And we're right around day 40, and it's right around 400 pounds, so it's nothing to write home about. But if it got my 1246 slow growth genetics, then I have lots and lots of time to build weight on this thing. So that's a plus. All right, now the big guy. I say the big guy, it's not much bigger than the other one. So there you have it, 1183 number 2. Same age as the last one. Should be about 40 pounds heavier. It's been hanging out in that range. This has absolutely got my 1246 genetics in it. Got those white spots. I think everybody wants to see if it's going to get that crazy color pattern that it had, the 1246 had. This one, I can't really tell. Doesn't sound very heavy to me. The vine on this one, same deal, short stem, and it crowds the vine frequently. I actually haven't had to move it back in a couple hundred pounds, but I'm coming due and I don't have anything out here to grab onto, so I'm gonna have to run a strap from that post, get it over here, and put the come along in there. I can do that. That shouldn't be a big deal, but it's one of those. It's one of those. What do they call? It's misleading. It looks a lot bigger. Every time I look at it, I think that's got to be more than 450 pounds, but it's really not. They're doing 20 pounds a day ish. Sand is cracking underneath. That means they're growing, which is good. But 20 pounds a day. It's never gotten over that. We're in the day 40 range. We're at the peak of the mountain now. We're starting to come back down, theoretically. But my 1246 genetics, they just keep going. They'll just hold that 20 pounds a day for 15, 20 days straight. if not more. So I don't count them out until the very end. Well, I just like to point out, this is the 4th week in a row that I put a video out. That's got to be a record for the last couple of years anyway. So I went from no videos to I'm getting them out there now, getting some stuff done. Really don't know what's going to happen next week, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So there's the update. We're not setting any records, but there's a shot at a personal best, and that's all I care about. I just want to get a personal best. 1246 is my best. I've got time on my side. Now we just gotta keep them going. Hopefully don't get yellow vine with all these squash bugs in here. So long.